Hi guys, I am back with another travel video. I already know you're gonna like this one, so go ahead. Just go from right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Alright, matter of fact, grab a cup of tea for this one. Wepa! I hope I said that right. It's been 2 years in this panini, panorama, or whatever it is you want to call it. Borders are opening up, so I grabbed a friend and we decided we are going to the Dominican Republic. Notice I said Dominican Republic, not Dominica. They're both in the Caribbean, but they're two different countries. One speaks Spanish and one speaks French, okay? Don't get it twisted. What you will need to travel, definitely need your passport. Depending on the country you're coming from, you're gonna need a visa. You will need an e-ticket to enter into the DR and to leave the DR. Usually the plane that we took like a day or so before, they sent an email with the link that you're able to do it. If you don't do it before you travel, by the time you enter, there's QR codes everywhere. They'll ask you to scan that before you join the line. So you can do it beforehand to save some time. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to spend 5 minutes in the airport getting that done. You will need a negative PCR or antigen test for re-entry into the US. Our hotel thankfully offered us a free antigen test if we stayed more than 4 days. So that was a plus. Otherwise, we would have to go find some local hospital or local clinic to go get the test done, and that was just too much headache. Dominican pesos. Now, this you may or may not need. You may need it if you are trying to stay on top of your coins. If money is no object to you and you have a lot to spend on vacation, go ahead. You can bring US dollars. You can use your credit card. They take US dollars there, no problem. The last thing you will need is to brush up on your Spanish. Let me say this again. Brush up on your Spanish. Remember that high school Spanish class that you thought, like, when am I ever going to need this? When am I ever going to use this? Well, this was the time. You're going to need it. You're going to use it. Now, I guess you could walk with a dictionary or use one of those translation apps, but that is provided you have Wi-Fi everywhere you go. So definitely knowing a little bit of Spanish came in handy. As usual, I booked everything as a package, right? So the round trip shuttle from the airport to the hotel, the flight, and the all-inclusive hotel all booked together as a package. Flight time was about 3.5 hours. Got to the DR, and to my surprise, there is no jetway. Nope. You exit the plane on the tarmac with all your carry-on luggage, then onto a bus, and the bus transports you to the immigration area. So that was a nice, pleasant surprise. Get to the hotel, guys. The hotel is gorgeous. It's total open air lobby. There's no walls enclosing the lobby. Trees everywhere. Nice breeze. Nice weather. It was September, so average temperature is about 88 degrees, and we did realize every day between the hours of like 12 and 3 it rained at least for an hour, like heavily. So that's just one thing to note depending on when you go. But yeah, the place was absolutely amazing. As I was saying, the staff was great, the service was great. There's multiple restaurants on the property, there's multiple pools, there's cabanas everywhere. The place was just absolutely gorgeous. The grounds were well kept. Now, this hotel was massive. When I say massive, it was huge. There are 3 trains on the property that takes you back and forth between like the lobby and where all the restaurants are to where a lot of the rooms and the beach is located. It's a pretty large property. Now, don't get me started on these trains, because as you got throughout the week, the trains were less frequent, and you have to like start walking, and then one would find you and then you get picked up. But a lot of the service personnel drive golf carts back and forth on the property, and if they're going in your direction, they'll offer you a ride. You can kind of just hop on. So that in and of itself was an adventure. I stayed in the general area of Punta Cana, but we went to 3 different areas within Punta Cana. We went to Sauna Island, Bavaro, and Macau area. Bavaro is where the hotel was located. Now, my absolute favorite spot was Sauna Island. So you get picked up from the hotel. It's about a 45-minute bus ride from the hotel to like the south coast. We hop on a speedboat and it sails you to the middle of the Caribbean Sea to something that they call a natural swimming pool. So you actually hop out of the speedboat in the middle of the sea. The water is actually only about waist deep and so clear, so blue, so pretty. And then you hop back on the speedboat, and they actually take you to, it's more, I think it's like another 20 minutes. You get to Sauna Island. They had a traditional lunch prepared for us that was great. The island actually has bathrooms on the property, so that's nice as well. Beach, we just chilled there for a couple hours. The beach was nice, the water was warm, it was clear, blue, palm trees everywhere, absolute perfection. You have vendors trying to get you to buy coconuts, to buy jewelry, to book a massage on the beach. Yes, that's even available. And then once that was finished, instead of going back on a speedboat, we hopped onto a catamaran. It was kind of a party boat, so it was a much slower trip back to shore. But they had music, they had drinks. It was time for you to kind of chill, relax, just enjoy the scenery around. It was absolutely breathtaking. That was my absolute favorite excursion on this trip. The other excursion we did was we went on a boogie tour. That's what they call it, a boogie tour. I would say a boogie tour, but hey, this one you have to be mentally prepared for, okay? So you get picked up in kind of like an off-road pickup type truck. It's about 30 minutes to Macau, and you get your buggies while you're there, and then you drive to this cultural center area, and they do a cultural dance. You get to take photos with them. You get to hear about the making of coffee and chocolate, which is very popular in Dominican Republic. You get to taste some of those things, which actually tasted really good. The chocolate tasted really good, even without milk. You got to see the making of cigars and how they roll it. And then the big surprise, you got to go into a underground cave. It was only for about 20 minutes, but that was nice. And then the cave is like open on 2 sides. So one side had a waterfall from like the ceiling of the cave, but it was great. Everyone enjoyed the time. The water was a tad bit cold, but it was a really good experience. Now, this is why I say you have to be mentally prepared, right? So yes, on their website, it shows people getting muddy and whatever, and you think, okay, I'm gonna try my best not to get too muddy, right? No, it's not possible. Get that out of your head, because they start the tour off or the ride off by driving you or letting you drive through this thing that's kind of like a car wash, right? There's clean water spraying from the top. So ladies, yes, your hair is going to get wet. So you may have tried to keep it dry while you were swimming in the cave, but no, this was inevitable. Your hair was wet as you drove through this thing. And then we went through that, and then as we continued the tour, the puddles of mud kept getting larger and larger, and it wasn't even like mud, it was more like mud swimming pools. I will say though, if you're going to take this tour, be the driver, don't be the passenger, because at the end of the tour, when you looked at all the passengers, we were full of mud from head to toe, right? Face, hair, shoes is soaked with mud water, pants, anything you wore is now garbage, because it was red dirt, and red dirt, if you don't know, stains. So anything you wore is garbage. The excursion is nice enough to offer you outdoor showers when you return the buggies, but now you may be mud free, but now you are soaked from head to toe, and you're gonna hop back into that open back truck to ride 30 minutes back to your hotel. So yes, that's what I mean by you have to be kind of mentally prepared for that excursion. Here is the tea on DR. Everybody is always trying to get you drunk. They know you're on vacation and they're trying to get you to unwind. So they're always offering you something to drink. You want a beer, you want wine. They'll offer you constantly mamawana, which is their very popular drink mixture. They'll offer you brugal, which is their popular rum. They're just always trying to get you drunk. So whether or not you drink, trust and believe somebody's going to approach you. So if that is what you're into, you are going to be in for a treat. 1 in 5 persons you meet, 1 in 5 local persons, are going to speak English. So that's why I mentioned earlier that you're going to need to brush up on your Spanish. So if you're not quite savvy in your communication skills, you're going to have a very, very difficult time. Bavaro, which is where we stayed, their beach, solid no. Nope. Beach is full of brown algae. Now, you don't see it from the shore because the resorts do a very good job of keeping the shoreline clean and keeping the sand clean. So the sand is clean, nice, white, beautiful. But once you hit the water, even as you get close, it gets brown. And you would think, okay, maybe as I walk further into the water, it will get clearer. No, it's brown through and through. The water itself is brown. And as you walk, you feel the algae on your feet. And it was just uncomfortable for me, especially since earlier in the week I had gone to Sauna Island where there was no algae, no seaweed, crystal clear waters, blue waters, white sand. Like, no, they already spoiled me on the south coast. Now, maybe because Bavaro is kind of more northeastern, so it's kind of more along the Atlantic Ocean side. So maybe that's why the water is a little bit different. Or maybe it's climate change because I've seen photos where the beach looks pretty clean, but I don't know. Bavaro Beach, nah, solid no for me. But Sauna Island and their beaches, 10. When it comes to transportation, taxis are ridiculously overpriced. But don't fear, Ubers are available for about 75% less. And they're very reliable, so you can just book it through your regular Uber app. No problemo. The one thing though is when you call an Uber on the resort, because Uber is technically a private company, they are not allowed on the resort property. So you have to actually meet them at the resort gate. But if you're coming back in an Uber, once you're physically in the vehicle, the security guard will kind of like check for your ID or check for your wristband, and then they'll let you in. So that's just something to note, because we realized that we booked an Uber and we're kind of wondering like, why are they not coming? We see that they're close, and then we had to ask, maneuver through the Spanish and ask someone at the front, and they're like, oh yeah, if you booked an Uber, you have to go all the way to the front, which is about a good 15 minutes walk. Remember I told you the property is huge, so we had to get someone on their golf cart to take us to the front of the property. Souvenirs, when you go to the souvenir shops, granted, when we went downtown, souvenirs were fairly priced. They're not overpriced. But when you go to the touristy areas that a lot of these excursions stop off at to get, people to buy stuff, here's the trick with the souvenir shop. There's no price on anything. Nothing. So you enter the shop, and of course, they're like, hey, here's complimentary mamawanas in some small cups, right? And then they give you these really, really big and deep baskets, wicker baskets, and they give it to you and they're like, yeah, go pick up anything you want off the shelf, and just tell me when you're ready and I'll meet you at the cash register. Now, mind you, there are, I don't know if they do this based on commission, but there's like a lot of shop attendants, and they meet you all at the door as the tour bus comes in. So, you get your basket and you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy some stuff. And me, I take stuff up and I look for the price of stuff. No price on nothing. From the smallest thing to the largest artwork, absolutely no price. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, because I'm the type of person, when I shop, whether or not I can afford it, I kind of like to know what I'm purchasing to make sure the value for it is, I'm comfortable with it, and that I kind of know what I'm expecting when I go to the cash register, not to just throw stuff blindly into the bag and then go to the cash register for either something super low or something super high. I don't know, that's just not me. The vendors. Vendors take money any which way. They take it in Dominican pesos, they take it in US dollars, they take it in Venmo, they take it in Cash App, they take it in PayPal. Am I missing anything? Oh, they take it in Apple Pay. Any way that allows them to get their money, they take it. Okay? So now to my funny story, right? All of my trips just always happen to have a really, really crazy story. So remember I told you that we went to the cave, right? And we're drying off, coming out of the cave and getting ready to actually go on the buggy tour. And my friend is taking photos of me, and a gentleman, a vendor, approaches us with a monkey, and he says, "Oh, do you guys want to take a picture?" And we're like, "No, we're good, thank you." And then he proceeds to take the phone out of my friend's hand, puts the monkey on me, and then proceeds with his photo shoot. So I'm like, okay, he's using our phone, so this must be complimentary, right? So he does this really big photo shoot, the monkey in different poses, on my head, on my shoulder, in my hands, whatever. Shoot is done. Then he says, $80. $80 for what, sir? For pictures I told you I did not want? Matter of fact, he used my phone to take the pictures. And then it's not like he even spent the time to say, oh, let me put the phone in like the camera on like pro camera mode. Like, no, none of that. I'm like, what am I paying you $80 for? And we ended up in this very uncomfortable conversation. I wouldn't really call it an argument. But I did give him money. Because I do know, everybody's trying to hustle, everybody's trying to make a dollar, everybody's trying to make a living. That's fine. But what we gave him was a small fraction of $80, because one, we did not go on this tour to do any shopping or to buy anything of that sort. And then the price for what he was giving us, no. There were other vendors who had professional cameras that were taking professional photographs. We did get a few of those taken on the Sauna Island tour, and that was nice, and we paid for those. But this time around, I'm like, sir, you took the whole photo shoot on my phone. Why should I pay you for that? $80? No, you must be crazy. And the way he went about it was a little bit scammerish. So I was like, you're not gonna pull that over on us. Nope. But anyways, let's talk budget. $880 for flight, all-inclusive hotel accommodation, shuttle back and forth to the hotel and to the airport. $125 for food, shopping, transportation for all the Uber rides, and $100 for excursions. So I believe that's about 1,100-ish math. And my budget was $1,300. So you do the math on the savings. That brings me to the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Definitely give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you would have done for Mr. Monkey Vendor, how you would have handled that situation. I would really like to know. If you guys have any questions on the trip, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not, hit the notification bell. Everywhere that I mentioned in this video will be linked in the description box. So until then, happy traveling. See ya.